Hey, what's up interwebs? I'm that toy guy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bionicle 2003 Titan class Titan set Makuta, otherwise known by long-term Bionicle G1 fans as Makuta Pterodax. And I bought this used, so I don't have the box, but I do have a cell phone. So, here is Makuta in his Makuta mode, because he has another mode. No, I'm kidding. He can combine though with Takanuva or Puku and the Goko bird to create two different beings. You have Takutanuva and some creature whose name I forget. I have the manual. Let me see if I can find it. I cannot find the manual, so I forget the name. But anyway, this thing is cool. I like this. A lot of people don't generally like this Titan set very much, but there are some people who, like, there's like 51% don't like it and 49% do. Me, I'm part of that 49%. So let's give you a 360 here of the actual figure. He is nice. His legs are a little bit of an issue because of the way that they're sculpted. It kind of looks like he's sticking his butt out. And the floppiness, but I did fix that, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So to get some comparisons out of the way, here he is with a movie Voyager from the days of old. And here he is with a Voyager from today's days. And here he is next to a high-grade Gundam, another building kit of another buildable action figure you can buy. Out of the way. And here he is next to a Lego minifigure, sorta. And I mean, he just dwarfs them. But yeah, this guy's cool. I'll just get his staff out of here so we can show off his articulation. Articulation wise, the head's on a ball joint. I think this is the first ever ball joint neck that we got from Bionicle. So his head can do that, and it can also rotate around to show off the rest of the Kanohi Kraken, the Mask of Shadows. And apparently there's a varianted version of this mask with, like, I think it's both of these covered up, or both of these open, or one open and one covered up. I got the one open, one covered up one, and my Makuta Icarax figure had the exact same thing. So yeah. But here is the other side, and I'm thinking of getting the movie accurate mask that was just recently made by someone. So yeah, and it is one of the axle connected masks. Those just came out in 2003, so yeah. Doesn't get much side to side motion, just due to the way his shoulder pads are made, which also inhibit his arm articulation. And it falls off very easily. So shoulders can go forward only that far and go back only that much. If you go any further forward, it just pops the bushing off the shoulder pad. See? It just pops that right off. So, I'm not going to, but I mean, you can cut these bits off here. Because, I mean, they're just Toanuva shoulder pads, or chest plates. So you can just cut these bits off to give him more articulation there. So yeah, he does have an elbow joint that bends above 90 degrees, bicep swivel, shoulders go out about that far, and the hands are on ball joints. And the hands are the Mask of Light. They're the silver variant of the Mask of Light. And yeah, this was the first mask to ever have an axle connection. And it does work as hands. They do work as hands pretty well, so that's nice. It does have a waist joint due to the gimmick. Hips are on ratchets, so they can go forward about that far. They can go back that much. And they are wide jointed, so they go outwards like that. And nothing at the knees unless you count the exploding knee as an articulation and the toes wiggle. And these things move. they're adjustable too, so yeah. Now gimmick wise, the knob sticking out of his butt, you twist it and he will flail around. But yeah, for weapon wise, he comes with the Spear of Fusion, the first Spear of Fusion, not the Vazon and Fenrek Spear of Fusion. And I just pulled it apart. Here it is. It's quite long too, it's taller than he is. So yeah, it's just basically two of these blades attached to one of these Technic bits on two Technic poles with two Technic pieces to allow it to go into his hands. And they just plug into the blue pins there and there. And those are the only two visible blue pins. I mean, there are two visible blue pins here and here, but I swapped them because these yellow pins were in the actual waist assembly here, and that made them super floppy because these are the frictionless versions. So I replaced the frictionless versions with the friction versions that were in here, the blue pins, and swapped them out. So now that the waist is a lot more stiff. Because if you had the yellow pins in here, he would just flop like this ever so slowly due to the weight of the staff. No, but when you fix that, he will stay perfectly fine. Build-wise, it's a pretty solid build. I mean, yes, it is floppy, but I mean, if you give it like a good squeeze in areas, it's not going to fall apart on you, like some Bionicle figures. Like, I don't know, Skull Basher. Yeah, Skull Basher falls apart super easily. So, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, the figure does come with a lot of recolors. You do have the Mask of Light recolor here. You have these Rockshi bits, then the clip bits for the Rockshi backs as well. They're all recolors. The Toanuva armor is recolors. I think these are recolor Technic pieces. I'm not 100% sure. Same with these, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, and the, you know what? Show us off. The Mata head here is a recolor as well in red. Because we got it in orange ending previously with Turaga Vakama. But here is the first time you ever see red. Now, Eagle Eye viewers may have noticed that there is something in this leg. And yeah, I stuck a Rockshi Krata in this leg to show off the gimmick. These do open. You just push on the ball joint and they open. You can store Rockshi Krata in there, so it's just you just take one, take that little peg right here, put it in that port, and then close up the leg. He also has one of these in his chest that is very odd at times, just doesn't open. Just do it manually. He has one in his chest too. So yeah, this figure overall is nice. Next to a Toamata, I don't have a Toamata up here because I'm missing Tahu. I lost Tahu. But I'll find it and I'll review the Toamata next. And yeah, but overall this thing is nice. I do quite like it. I highly recommend you buy it if you're a Bionicle collector. If you're not a Bionicle collector but you want to get into Bionicle collecting, I'd say this is a good starter figure. It's not a very complex build, although it is fun. It's a fun build, it's not very complex. It does have its flaws, but it also has its moments. And you can get this took me like 15 minutes to get together, so you could probably get it done in the same time. It's not that very long to build, unlike, say, Titan Takanuva or the Axelara T9. It's not going to take you 3 hours to build. It'll just be 15 minutes, you're done. And this is a great Titan set. It's a great size. I mean, it's bigger than a Voyager. So, yeah, I highly recommend this figure. Just go out and buy this thing. So yeah, I'm That Toy Guy, and this has been the 2003 G1 Bionicle Titan Makuta, or Makuta Pterodax. And yeah, stay tuned for my next video.